For many years, the members of this trio have wowed audiences with their electrifying blend of musical brilliance, songcraft, and stage presence. This group is so close and seamless on stage that even longtime admirers are astonished to learn that the members are not related. This group was one of the most popular dancing acts of the late 70s and early 80s. The centerpiece of today's video is all about the Ritchie family. Before we start, let's be sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and push the notification bell to be sure you won't miss on any more uploads. Now without further ado, let's cue that intro. This story begins with a concept that started as a studio group. In the mid-70s, Cassandra Wooten, Cheryl Mason Dorman, previously Mason Jacks, and Gwendolyn Wesley became the group's voices and faces. Cassandra and Gwendolyn had been playing out of Philadelphia in a group called Honey and the Bees, and when that group disbanded, they teamed up with Cheryl, whom they met at a performing arts school. They were the ideal vocal three to symbolize and convey the Philly sound, which is defined as a warm and uplifting blend of soul and disco. The trio was sought by Jock Marley, Henry Balolo, and Ritchie Rome. Their manager was Jimmy Bishop, a well-known Philadelphia radio personality who previously managed Barbara Mason. Morley remembered Wooten and Oliver doing some session work for him, so he contacted them a few years later when he wanted to establish a group, and the Ritchie family was born. Their first successful record, a remake of the 1930s ballad, Brazil, peaked at number 20 in the United States in 1975. It was also nominated for Best Pop Instrumental Performance at the 1976 Grammy Awards, but Van McCoy's The Hustle won. The record, also titled Brazil, did well. By November 1st, 1975, it has spent 5 weeks on the Billboard album chart, rising from number 72 to number 62. The album did provide him with another dance hit, The Peanut Vendor. The women brilliantly collaborated with Rome, Morali, and Balolo to fire one of the greatest and most powerful disco successes of 1976, the fittingly titled The Best Disco in Town. The tune is from their critically acclaimed album Arabian Nights, and is a mashup of some of the most famous disco tracks of the time. The song was also a top 20 US success on the Billboard Pop Singles chart, reaching number 17. It also peaked at number 1 on Billboard's dance chart, packed dance floors in the last weeks of summer, and sold over 2 million copies worldwide. Their third album, the effervescent, disco-infused Life is Music, cemented their popularity and impact in the dance scene. African Queens, the lady's third album for the famed Miami-based Marlon TK Records label, returned the trio to the top of the Billboard dance chart with The Summer Dance and Quiet Village. The exhilaration of globe touring, regular television appearances on Soul Train, Disco 77, American Bandstand, and other shows, as well as their top club rating, were among the vivid, unforgettable highlights of this time, and they continue to connect powerfully with the ladies. The Ritchie family's distinct, welcoming harmonies and enticing beats became one of the most recognizable, distinctive grooves of the disco era. By the end of the 70s, taste had shifted and the Ritchie family's producers aimed to steer the group in a new direction. By 1978, Wooten, Oliver, and Mason Jacks had been removed without notice. They were taken aback when they were there one day and then disappeared the next. Their composer, Phil Hurt, was equally startled, as he walked to the studio to participate in the recording sessions, and there were 3 new members in front of him. They were succeeded by Jackie Smith Lee, Theodosia Doty Dryhair, and Edna Hope. Morley was reported to have intended not to extend their contract and had already begun seeking successors. Cassandra Wooten, Cheryl Mason Jacks, and Michelle Simpson created Cas Me Jack when Gwendolyn Oliver left the band. The time had come for Cheryl, Cassandra, and Gwendolyn to part from the Ritchie family, but they continued to make an impact on pop music. For a time, Cassandra and Cheryl advanced their music careers by providing background vocals on John Lennon and Yoko Ono's immortal 1980 album, Double Fantasy. Scheduled to go on tour with Lennon, the ladies were devastated, along with the rest of the world, to hear the news that Lennon had been unalived. They subsequently put their music careers on hold for several years to pursue other personal interests and family responsibilities. The 1978 album American Generation, with the new lineup, was a minor departure from disco and more in the manner of Europop, albeit one of the songs was titled, I Feel Disco Good. The group abandoned the exotic and very kitsch clothing of their previous iteration in favor of a more current, sexually suggestive approach. For their following album, Bad Reputation, they enlisted Victor Willis, the original lead vocalist of Village People, to collaborate with Jock Morley on the material. Hope eventually left to create her own group Edna Holt and Starloof, and was replaced by lead vocalist Vera Brown the group had success with. Put your feet to the beat.
Put your feet to the beat. Put your feet to the beat. Put your feet to the beat. Get up.
The Ritchie family lineup of Brown, Smith, Lee, and Jar then recorded the Give Me a Break album, which featured the songs Give Me a Break,
I got determination. I got imagination. Come on, give me a break.
and Never Be Able to Set You Free. Continuing with album releases, the following was a very different collaboration with Jock Fred Petrus and Mauro Malavasi, the duo behind Change. They recorded 2 albums, I'll Do My Best, For You Baby, and All Night Alright. By this time, Dodie Jar had departed the group and Linda James had taken her place. They appeared alongside Village People in the 1980 film Can't Stop the Music. The film was a resounding flop and it remains on many reviewers' worst ever lists, yet the soundtrack record did well in other regions of the world. Disco music has peaked in key regions such as the United States. After opting to dissolve after group owner Jack Morley realized he had AIDS, the group reformed as Vera Brown and the Rich Girls for one single, Too Much Too Fast, which failed spectacularly. Vera Brown has recreated the Ritchie family with Dodie Jarhead and Jacquard Smith Lee, but there will be no future releases. However, after years of listening and seeing others perform their songs, Cassandra and Cheryl decided it was time to regroup. With the addition of singer, composer, and choreographer Renee Gillary Waring, who replaced Gwendolyn Wesley, the Ritchie family was ready to revamp their sound and bring their enthusiasm to the world of modern pop and dance music. Some of the group's members were Jackie Smith Lee, Theodosia Dodie Jar, Edna Holt, Vera Brown, Linda James, and Renee Gillary Waring. The trio's 2016 song Ice is a heart-stopping musical journey that showcases their still imposing vocal presence in a very distinctive, undeniably hip, and wonderfully surprising way.
Ice, melt the ice.
The women have expertly balanced the pleasure and festiveness of dance music's most recognized era with the energy and forceful edginess of the 21st century. Now, before we go, I have a question for you all. What is your favorite song from the Ritchie family?